Tonight on Live with Cordone and Kilgore. From the Actors Rise newsletter recently featured in the New York Times, LA-based actress, producer, and career coach Jenna Doolittle. Right now on Live with Cordone and Kilgore.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with Cordone and Kilgore. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm, of course, Natalie Cordone.
And I am Sean Kilgore. Today is Monday, February 22nd, and this is episode 6 of Live with Cordone and Kilgore. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. It's gone so fast.
I know it has. And we are very excited to welcome our very special guest tonight, Jenna Doolittle. Now, we are streaming to you, of course, through our Facebook and YouTube pages at the same time. That is happening through the magic that is StreamYard. If you are joining us on Facebook, we invite you to invite your friends to come along with us tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. So you can do that by sharing the Facebook post, sharing the stream. And you can do that too with the YouTube video. If you're joining us on YouTube, you can share that as well. And if you haven't already done so, you can go to that Cordone and Kilgore Facebook page, click that little thumbs up. That's going to keep you up to date with what's happening with us. And you can always get your reminder to join us there on our Facebook page. Every time we post about the next week's show, you'll be able to hit that little get reminder, and Facebook will remind you that the show is coming up.
Yeah. So for all of you that are joining us on YouTube, please like and subscribe to our channel, Cordone and Kilgore. And everyone, please comment, ask questions, let us know what you're thinking, and we will do our best to respond to as many as possible. And please engage in the conversation when our guests join us. We love having you guys ask just as many questions as we do. So we really appreciate your feedback. So we want to just let you know that this is the last week of February. I can't believe it. It's going by so fast. And that means that it is the last week for you to join us and help us with our show, Hooray for Love. So our Valentine's Day show that we produce around the country every year can come to you in your very living room this month until the end of the month. And the way that you'll do that is just visit our website, cordoneandkilgore.com. Then you'll hit the donate button. There's actually a little video that shows you how to do this. There's a minimum donation of $20.21 that will celebrate love in 2021. Be sure to enter your best email address because that's where all of the information for the full show is going to go. And then immediately following your donation, you're going to receive an email where you can click on the link for YouTube, and that way you can enjoy Hooray for Love, the full show, right in your living room. And if you have any questions, you can just hit us up at cordonekilgorelive@gmail.com. So that's
tons of ways to find us. You'd have to try not to find us.
That is correct. If you found us here, you know how to find us. And to everyone who has already purchased, we're so grateful to you. We've tried to reach out to each of you individually to thank you, but if we haven't gotten a chance to yet, I promise you're in the queue. It has been overwhelming, and we've been so grateful and blessed. So for those of you that are here with us every week, we thank you so much. And for those of you who've already donated and are at home watching the show, thank you for your feedback, because it really made our days when we hear how much you love the show. So thank you for that.
And it's sort of really forming how the show develops, don't you think? Cheers.
Oh, cheers to you.
To episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking this evening?
Episode 6. I am drinking a red blend that is the 19 Crimes. Yeah.
That's nice.
Blend.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You've had it before, I think. I think you may be the one who turned me on to this.
Tonight I have 7 Deadly Sins Red Zinfandel, which is
we're in
yes.
mean moods tonight between the Deadly Sins and
just wait.
Crimes.
A couple more glasses. We'll see how it goes. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Jenna brings out the best
mean,
or the worst of us. I don't know.
There's no mean side at all. When
no, there's no mean side to you. I don't think at all. I don't think you have one. I think I saw it once in a decade. I think I've seen it once.
that's a good record.
It is a very good
tell me about your week. What's going on with you? How you doing?
It's been so great. It's been so busy. I feel like we talked about at the beginning, time is just flying by. So before the week is over, it's really hard to imagine that so much has happened already. I can't wait to hear what you guys are up to. I saw that Mariette, who is going to join us next week, she's on in the chat, and she's got a cup of decaf and she's got her PJs on there. So she's kicking back, which is awesome. We love that.
Nice.
And I am just trying to keep my head above water with all the stuff that's happening. There's a lot going on with us, going on with Hooray for Love. Plus, we've brought in new guests for the whole month of March, which is great. And then also the Connected Performer things are really kicking over there. So
it's exciting. I'm excited for you guys. That's awesome.
Really great week. Thank you. And how about you? What have you been up to this week?
Well, today is my 6-year wedding anniversary. So we're celebrating that today. Yay! Yes. So when's your anniversary with Chris? When do you guys celebrate?
January 6th.
January 6th.
We met,
okay, that's right.
So we always kind of are amazed when we come to the date of when we met, which was November 27th. It was 2 days after his birthday. Because we just tick by the years and go, how is that possible? Yeah.
Sort of the same thing. So we normally celebrate on June 26th. That's the day we met. And so that's always been our anniversary, up until, we were able to get married. And that was, 6 years ago, shortly after it became legal, we were able to get married. So we did it. And so now we have 2 anniversaries. We celebrate the wedding anniversary and then the anniversary that we've always known. So, and actually, and I don't think Perry will mind that I say this, but it wasn't until somebody wished us a happy anniversary this morning that I even realized when it was, and that it was it. And that's okay too, because I think last year he wished me a happy anniversary on February 2nd, 20 days early.
Fantastic.
But then he was like, "Hey, at least I was first." I was like, "That doesn't count." Right. If it's 20 days.
That doesn't count. No. Chris and I are not big on the anniversaries, so I'm impressed. You guys put up a big post today. I got to watch your little video.
Well, Facebook did that. They make that for you.
Wait a minute. Is that how you do is that how you do the ones for me too? Is it just all Facebook?
No, I make those.
I'm special.
Spent hours and hours and hours on those. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I expected. Well, awesome. I'm so glad that I got to be there for your wedding and that 6 years later we're here celebrating. That's
I know, right? It's pretty
incredible.
Awesome. Very cool. Let's go ahead and say hello to some people. Of course, the moms. The moms are here.
Hi, moms.
Mariette, thanks for being here. We got Faith joining as always. Thanks, Faith and Dawn. Nice to see you guys. Hey, that's my cousin Britt. Oh, that's Perry saying hi to Britt, actually.
What up?
There's Mom again and Brittany. And the Griffins are here. I'm sorry that I'm going to miss seeing the Griffins, our friends who are in town. Where'd their post? Oh, there it is. So they're here in town. So I wish I could see you guys. I'm sorry I'm going to miss seeing you guys this time around. But thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for being here and watching tonight. So being as our mission with the show is to accentuate the positive, we decided to sort of create a new segment that we will start our shows out with called Good News, where Natalie and I will both select stories from the news, positive stories from the news to bring up and talk about as we begin our show each week. So this week, I wanted to talk about Alex Trebek a little bit. He is someone who I grew up watching on television. I feel like he's like a family member. There really has, when I was growing up, there was not ever a night that Jeopardy was not on the television, that Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Hour, And so Alex Trebek was not only the host of Jeopardy, he also did a lot of good work, which doesn't always really get talked about unless you really do some exploring into his, all the stuff that he's done. So Alex Trebek, he really has sort of left behind this legacy of compassion and caring So what he has done, what his family has done, rather, since he is no longer with us, has decided between his son and the wardrobe coordinator on the show Jeopardy, they came together and they decided to donate a whole bunch of Alex's old suits, and
Wow.
stuff to this nonprofit agency called the Doe Fund. So the Doe Fund, established in 1990, the Doe Fund has provided jobs, vocational training, education, and social services to more than 28,000 underserved Americans who are coping with addiction, homelessness, and a history of incarceration. So between them, so this is what they actually donated. They donated 14 suits, 58 dress shirts, 300 neckties, 25 polo shirts, 14 sweaters, 9 sport coats, 9 pairs of dress shoes, 15 belts, 2 parkas, and 3 pairs of dress slacks. Now, these are all donated to the Doe's Fund's Ready, Willing, and Able program that provides interview outfits to those who are hoping to rejoin the workforce. That's a pretty remarkable thing, and think very much in line with what he would have wanted. So when you have somebody like that who has had such an impact on many people's lives, just by coming into your living room every night, to know that he lived a life dedicated to acts of kindness, which is what we kind of talk a lot about. So it's pretty cool. And I just pulled a couple of, if you're a Jeopardy fan, I'm sure you watched his final episode, but a couple of his last words on the last episode were that he asked that all of us take a moment to give thanks for the many blessings that we enjoy in our lives. And he said, we're trying to rebuild a gentler, kinder society. And if we all pitch in just a little bit, we're going to get there. So rest in peace, Alex Trebek. Thanks for a lifetime of things I never knew.
Of sharing. That's amazing.
Of sharing. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. It's incredible what some people can do in the shadows for what they're able to do out in the light. So we're very grateful for all the good work. And I would love to know when he wore a parka on the show, much less 2.
I'm sure it was probably one of those segments where, like, when they go to the Jeopardy clue and he's like in a remote location. I'm sure it was. I
would hope. And he was probably still in LA in a parka with the penguin. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to own an Alex Trebek parka. So yeah, it would be something else.
Can you imagine walking into your job interview in a parka?
No, like in Alex Trebek's tie.
It's nice though. It's nice that
that's pretty incredible though. I mean, to be able to give that and to have that, hopefully that spirit travel with the person who is making you start, someone who was so prolific and also had such success, right? To be able to take a little bit of that spirit in with you, I think is pretty great.
Yes, and from one Canadian to another, Alex was a true gentleman, fellow Canadian.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes, he was a great person and had a fantastic sense of humor. Absolutely.
Agreed.
All right, what's next, Nat?
Cool. Okay, so because we had such a great time with you all last week, we didn't have an extra guest on last week. It was just the 2 of us and all of you. We wanted to engage with you again this week because we had so much fun. And we wanted to do a little question and answer session. So, Sean, are you ready for a little getting to know you session with the audience?
I am. Getting to know you. Sweet,
getting to know all about you.
Some random
this is
questions.
Why we can't sing together online. There is a lag.
There's that lag. You're like, oh boy, their timing is way off.
Really bad. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine them in person? Anyway, so I have 3 questions to ask you, and you promise to answer them honestly and truthfully and immediately. Like, you just have to answer. You can't think about it too much. Okay.
Right.
And all of you.
That goes for all of you too.
Yes. All of you watching have to promise to do the same thing. All right. So you have to go in and grab the answer and show it or tell it to us. Okay. Yes. Show and tell time. Okay. All right. What was the last picture you took on your phone?
All right.
Now, does this count? I think it's the last picture you took, not like the last screenshot or the last file that you have. It has to be a photo.
It has to be an actual photo.
It has to be a picture that you took.
Yeah. Here's mine. This is my neighbor, Eric, when his dogs got out. And every time his dogs get out, they run over to our house. And every time our dogs get out, they run straight over to his house. So he came over to get his dogs, and then he piles them up like that.
That's amazing. It's just a big picture pile. That's adorable.
Well, it's not really coming in there, but yeah.
No, I can totally see it. I think that's amazing.
What about you?
Okay, so I see pictures of dogs,
Yeah,
children.
so here's what we have. We have
Yeah.
grandchildren. We have dogs. My mom took a picture of my dad.
Okay. All right. Now
What
mine
kind
is
of
not.
picture?
It's exciting to me. What kind of picture of dad?
No.
So this photo will only be exciting to me and maybe to my mom, who I've already shared it with. She's the reason why I took the photo. Okay, hold on. Let me make it so it's like full screen here. Can you see this photograph?
It's a closet. It's like a storage closet.
It's a storage closet. So I had been asking for shelves to be put in the storage closet for like 2 years. And Chris did it last night. And I was so excited about the organization in my house. This is how much of a nerd I am that I had to take a picture and send it to my mom. I was so excited. It was like, oh my God.
My girl loves some organization. I tell you what. That's why I created all those Google Drives for you.
It makes my heart go pitter patter all the time.
We have Mama Wilson sunrise. She posted Mama Wilson's beautiful pictures of sunrise. My cousin Nyla in daycare. I got some awesome babies in my life right now that I get to see pictures of all the time.
They did. They finally got up.
Finally got up. Hysterical.
I should have sent you the picture. I'm sorry. I was a total fail.
You guys must have talked about that, I guess.
Maybe a little bit.
All right. What's the next question?
Oh, okay. So next question was, what was your last purchase on Amazon or online? What was your last online purchase?
That's actually funny because I just carried this all upstairs. This actually came from Amazon today.
Oh, have you opened it yet? Or is
no,
that, oh my gosh, how many things are on there? What in the world?
That's my Amazon delivery today. But this isn't every day.
What is in there?
So I have a couple different things. Oh, this is funny. Actually, I'll share this with you because we've talked about the paper planner versus the iPhone calendar.
Which I told you I couldn't help myself. Did you get it? You did.
I'm going back to the paper. I get lost.
Every once in a while.
I'm getting lost in the digital world. I can't do it.
Unless this catches on fire, it will be there. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay. You have to see what some of the people are ordering. And yes, Perry, I am a nerd, and I will hold that nerddom to you.
He's saying no. Yes, he's saying fellow. Yeah, because the last picture he took, he's been reworking his work shed out there. So he laid a floor today with Eric, who's my last picture in my phone.
Amazing.
They laid a floor out there. Let's see. We got what else? Oh no, I haven't heard this yet, but my sister has water in her basement, so she's late. So sorry, sisters. That's what you guys are dealing with. That's terrible. Hopefully we can help you out a little. I ordered a ball pit because that's my cousin.
Like for children?
She's got the little baby Nyla who loves the ball pit. Butcher block oil.
I didn't know there was such a thing. So go for that, Ralph. That's awesome. That's amazing. Cool. Keurig cleaning pods. I've never used them. Linda, you have to tell us if they're worthwhile.
Because I actually use them at work, which is just really
cleaning
nice.
Pods worthwhile?
Yeah. Cleaning pods. Oh no.
Yeah, use Keurig. Okay, so to be perfectly honest, I'm so addicted to coffee at this point that I actually gave it up for Lent. Like that's how much I love it. So if my Keurig's getting a break for the next 40 days, so I want to know if these cleaning pods are worthwhile.
I was very confused for a second. I was thinking we were still answering the last picture in your phone question. So
that would be really weird. Really weird.
Now I get it. So Keurig cleaning pods, the last thing you ordered. My mom ordered my dad a razor. Jeff Kilty. Hi, Jeff Kilty.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're here.
Quickly talk to you guys about why we're so excited about Jeff Kilty being here. So the Hooray for Love show that you guys will see if you download it is from the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center, where Jeff is like the grand poobah of all things happening at the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center. And he is such a good friend and has known Sean for such a long time, but he brought the show in and produced it and allowed us to use it for this purpose. So he has been such a huge help to us along the way. So he means a ton to us. So thank you to the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center.
And we have one more Amazon purchase, pipe clamps.
What the heck is
Wait, well, I'm guessing that's what you're going to order now on Amazon for that's my sister with the flooded basement right now.
Oh, ew.
He likes that you call him a poobah, the grand poobah.
Okay.
That's your name.
Yeah, let me know about the pods.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so my last purchase on Amazon, it was a phone case for my grandmother.
That's very pretty. And it comes with that little stylus also with the same.
No, actually, that's just the side of the thing. It's just the side.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Side view.
Because for Christmas, Chris and I got the family all iPhones. So my grandmother, who very well may be on here, who's 91, got an iPhone. So did my 89-year-old grandfather. So did my parents and my aunt and uncle. So we had to order them stuff to go with it. So we're an iPhone family now.
That's cool. My grandma's kind of tech. She's pretty tech savvy.
Your grandma is super tech savvy. Like she's all over. I mean, she's all over the Facebook.
Yeah,
big time.
Do we have one more question? One more question.
We have one more question. So, if Sean Kilgore, you were at dinner with no way to pay, what would you do or say to get the bill paid?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I've worked in so many restaurants. I would just offer to work it off. I'm like, I'll wash dishes. I'll do whatever. I'll wait on some tables. I'm a bartender. I'll make some drinks.
You could do it all. Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably what I would do. I would probably offer to work it off in some way. What about you?
You have such a strong Midwestern work ethic that doesn't surprise me at all. Like not even a little bit. Yeah. If a smile and nod didn't do me any good, which it wouldn't, I could offer to sing them a song, like to sing for my supper. I actually was at a dinner once. It was a corporate dinner. And one of my friends, who was a fellow performer, we were working for this corporation, she literally forgot her wallet, and the people at the table made her sing for her supper. So she literally sang like a pop song, whatever it was. And as long as she did it for the whole restaurant, the corporation would pick up the bill. So that would be my first.
That is great.
And then I'd be stuck in the kitchen. I guess washing dishes would be my next option.
Yeah, it's not so bad. There are worse things you could do.
Totally, for sure. Yeah. Run. Is that an option?
Here's my grandma right now. The last thing she last thing she bought on Amazon, maybe compression.
I hope so. If it's the last thing she took a picture of, that would be odd. So yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Actually, it could be either. I mean, those questions really could be either.
Totally.
Awesome. Well, so that's fun. So each week we'll pull some 3 random questions to get to know you guys a little bit and let you get to know us a little bit with some just random facts.
Random questions. Thank you guys for playing along. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome.
So before we bring on our guest, who we are so excited to have here today, we wanted to bring you some music. And since, like Sean just said, the lag does not allow us to do it in person, we thought that we would bring you one of our favorite songs that we have sung all over the country that comes from our Hooray for Love show that was sung at the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center with Jeff Kelty at the helm in 2019. So we hope you enjoy Baby You Got What It Takes.
It takes more than a robin, a tomato is a go, and it takes 2 lips of fire to melt away the snow.
You know it takes 2 hearts of cooking to make a fire grow, and baby, you got what it takes. You know it takes a lot of kissing to make a romance sweet. Well, it takes a lot of loving to make my life complete.
Oh, it takes somebody special to knock me off my feet. And baby, you got what it takes.
I said, ooh.
You know you've got just what it takes, because it takes more than an effort to stay away from you. And it takes more than a lifetime to prove that I'll be true.
You know it takes somebody special to make me say I do. And baby, you got what it takes.
ladies and gentlemen. You know you've got just what it takes.
Because it takes more than
It takes a
ever
lot of effort.
to stay away from you. And it takes more than a lifetime to prove that I'll be true.
Well, it takes somebody special to make me say I do. And baby, you got what it takes. Baby, you got what it takes. Baby, you got what it takes.
Next, we have Jenna Doolittle, who is a good friend of ours, who's also an amazing actress, coach, and the founder of the Actors Rise newsletter, which is something that has taken over the internet to help all of the actors and performers out there during the pandemic. We can't wait to invite her onto the show. Up next, Jenna Doolittle.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Welcome.
how you doing, Jenna?
Great. Thank you so much for having me. You guys make me sound so fancy. I need to bring you everywhere I go.
We
Perfect.
promise anywhere you want to take us, we'll fit in your pocket. It's fine.
Great.
We'll go.
I'm in. And you're so talented. I mean, hearing you guys sing was so fun. I was just like cruising back here.
Aw, thanks. It's so funny because our shows run such a gamut of different kinds of music. And we've both sung a lot of classical music, and then we get to sing jazz and musical theater. And so getting to share this stuff is it's such a joy for us. So we're
Love
glad
it.
that you enjoyed it. Yeah.
I grew up doing like musical, like jazz standards and a cappella and all of that good
Yes.
stuff, musical theater. So it's been a while. I could not compete with you guys, but it was lovely.
Because you were a New York-based actor before you moved out to LA, right?
Exactly. I was in the city for 6 years, and now I've been in LA for 8, which is bananas
Wow.
to me. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I
And
know.
what made you- what
I'm
made you
older
wanna-
than I look.
What made you want to make that move from New York to LA? What
Honestly, my now husband. I never saw myself in LA. We've known each other since we were kids, actually, and
Wow.
we did our own things and lived in different coasts and whatnot. But he's a film person, and it's just happening here. So here we are.
That's
Amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
But
And
that's you guys-
happy 6-year anniversary to you, Sean. My
Thank
goodness.
you.
And
Thanks.
it made me feel so much better because I don't know what our anniversary is, and we just got married like a year and a half ago. I don't even know. Yeah,
I think
I'm
it
the
takes a
worst.
while to sink in.
I don't know. We've like known each other since 7th grade, so
That's
who's
amazing.
counting?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a great story. I actually didn't know that about you. So that is a really good story.
Random.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's awesome. So since you've been in LA, like we were saying earlier, so you are still a working actor who's out there beating the bushes, being on set, totally working. Sean has such a crush on your character in the shows that I don't even watch, which I love. So we are indebted to you in different ways. Like you've been entertaining him while I've been watching you on the Actors Rise newsletter.
Well,
So-
I'll take any love wherever I can get it. So.
So when it comes to being a working actor right now, right? We've
Yeah.
talked a little bit about this in our own lives as to how the pandemic has changed things and how we've sort of had to weave and bob
Totally.
since everything shifted. So what has it been like for you as a professional actor? Because I know you've been on set, right, since things
Mhm.
started. How is it different? Talk to us about what that experience is like.
Well, I mean, you get extra pay because you get paid to do COVID tests now, which is one of the perks of being in the union.
Good to
So that's always a fun fact I like to share with people. It's definitely a different vibe. I mean, we think film and TV, it's like a collaborative medium. There's so many different people doing different parts, and you just have to kind of stay separated now, which just feels very strange. There's like an A team and a B team, and in between takes, you have to take your, you have to put your mask on, which, you know, for poor makeup. And I just felt so bad every time, you know, because they're like trying to touch you up, but they also can't get too close to you too many times because then they're going into the A team area and they're not supposed to be there. So it's complicated, but honestly, people are so willing to make it work. We love what we do. So we're going to figure out a way to make it happen. And quite honestly, if anybody can figure out protocols, it's people in the theater industry, people in the film and TV industry. We're so innovative and smart, I feel like, in those ways. Some people are making it happen. Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like it's sort of the same as my day job is at Universal Orlando Resort, and so you know, it's NBC Universal. And so it's the same kind of thing. That's the same protocols. It's the same kind of figuring out how to make it work so that we can continue to move forward.
Exactly.
It's just really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, the testing and like craft services is different, you know, you don't like, and you have to stay separated at lunchtime where you usually kind of like mingle and try to make friends. So it's a little bit more isolating, but it's definitely, it was the most people I'd been around in a very long time when I went back to set. So it was kind of overwhelming for me. And I was kind of like, okay with people being spaced farther away. Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. And has it been, since you've been in LA, right, during most of the pandemic, have you felt like there's been a way to sort of make your creative juices still flow while you've been in what has been a lockdown for you guys, more so than maybe some of the rest of the country?
Yeah. I mean, sheesh, I've hardly left my house. It's definitely been a lockdown. The thing that I've found amazing is like taking acting class online.
Yeah.
I thought that I would hate it, and I actually love it. And for a television actor, it's really great because you actually are watching yourself on camera, on screen, and you're kind of really learning how to react to what people are giving you in these little bubbles. Although, you know, I'm so used to Zoom, like right now I want to move you where you are on my computer screen. So it's like the right place for my eye line, but then you're too small. Right? Anyway, yeah, so you learn new things. And I've gotten to work with incredible coaches from all across the country, whereas in the past, like I would have been stuck with, but you know, just able to work with people in LA. And I've been working with an amazing acting coach in New York City. So that's been really cool. Yeah.
I had the same experience where I started taking Zoom classes back in, I guess, April, like when they were first sort of coming on the scene. And I think you and I had the similar experience where we were already bought into the idea of coaching online, right? Yes. So it was a very easy transition for us, where for some other people, it was a lot of education that went into, can I really do this online? And I was so excited that it meant that it opened up the one of the good things that happened was that it did open up a world to those of us that were willing to like try the new, like be an early adopter, like try a class or try a casting director workshop or all the kinds of weird things that they're doing that maybe weren't available to us back then. So it's been an interesting ride for sure.
I think so many people just stepped up within our community, because I know we think about actors, people who aren't actors, as like famous people who have lots of money, but really the real working actors, you know, it's been a really challenging time for most of us. And to see how the community has kind of like stepped up to help actors has been really amazing. Like casting directors and agents and managers doing all these Instagram lives and giving so much free information and time. That's been really inspiring to me. I love how you start with like the good things. And I feel like there have been a lot of good things that have come out of this time, despite like obviously so much heartbreak and pain from so many people. So try to see the good when I can.
We talked about that in one of our episodes, where I was actually reunited with one of my old college friends who is an indie music personality now. And if it weren't for this and these kinds of things happening, those things wouldn't happen. And like a lot of the stuff, so there are things to be thankful for. I agree. Out of all of this, I mean, you know, I'm working with people mostly out in your neck of the woods. You know, I'm doing a lot of like live you know, play readings and things like that, mostly with people who are out in LA, which is really kind of a cool thing to be able to work with people in that way.
I've made so many new friends from all across the country that I just have never met in person. I have a guy who's been helping me out with my business, and I've been helping him with his career, and we've kind of been doing a nice trade, and we've never met in person. And it's just so bizarre because I talk to him every week, and he's become one of my really good friends, and he got married during this time. And I'm just like, how have I never met you in person? It's crazy to me.
Well, speaking of, so along with being a professional actor, you also are a coach. So you've worked with other actors during this time. We talked a couple of weeks ago about the Connected Performer and how I work with my other partner in that business, Kevin Kelly. We work with musical theater actors, but you work with actors to really have them like get their act together and make sure that their business and their technique are like married so that they can up level to the next step.
Yeah, right? I usually start working with actors when they're kind of feeling unstuck, whether they're feeling stuck in their career. A lot of the times, in acting school, they don't teach us how to actually get a job. How do you actually get work, right?
Right.
And so I work with a lot of people who want to do TV and film and really just, feel like they have the craft and the training. And usually I'm like, well, you have to keep training. It never ends. But they think they're, ready. And so it's like, what are those materials that you need to get together? How do you actually get an agent? And I help people do those things. And then I also work with people whose careers are much farther ahead of mine when they can't always see like all the good things that they have. And I'll kind of help shift the perspective and say, how could we, expand your network, or how can we utilize the people that in a good way and also add value to them because we're good human beings. Like how can we give back to them too? But I love it. I love helping actors because I am one. So it feels good.
And how did you come to the coaching side of things? Like what made you come to this side of the business?
Yeah. Well, I worked in producing actually theater when I was in New York. And then I worked in casting for a while, but I've been acting since I was a kid. And I'm always like fascinated by this idea of like art meets commerce and, how can these two things go together? And I actually ended up working with a coach because I felt like I needed to learn a lot more about how to break in. And I ended up working for the company that I coached with at first. And then recently went off on my own to do my own thing. So yeah, it's been great. Feel really lucky.
Speaking of you breaking off to do your own thing, so I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but you've had enormous success with the meteoric rise of the Actors Rise newsletter. I mean, it's been really unbelievable the amount of people you've been able to help during this really tumultuous time on the acting side of the business, or any side of the performing arts or the film industry, right? So talk to us a little bit about the newsletter. Like where did it come from? Where does the genesis of you sitting in your house going, oh my God, the world's falling apart. I can help. Here's what I can do.
Yeah. So in early March, I just started getting, text. And it's funny, we were filming a short in my home actually, and we had to decide, were we going to shut down because of the pandemic? And we did most of it. And then we shut down and we had to wait 6 months to film the final scene of this short film.
Heartbreaking.
It's done. But I was getting all these panicked text messages and phone calls from people being like, how do I get unemployment? I'm panicking. Or there are all these open calls from casting directors. Like, where are they, Jenna? Can you send me all the info? And I was getting kind of overwhelmed by people asking me questions. And I was just like, turned to my husband and I was like, I think I'm just going to like try to put all this information in one place for people so that like, A, it's easier for me, and B, it'll be really helpful and just organized. And so I sent it to 36 people the first time, and it just kind of grew through word of mouth. And I just kept sending this newsletter. And in the beginning, I was sending it 5 days a week because there was just so much happening. And I really wanted to keep people like creatively engaged and sharing like free things that they could do to stay inspired, because it was really depressing having our work taken away from us, as you guys well know. And wanted to share mindset tips and financial advice, because I think finances are so important. And a lot of actors are like, oh yeah, that thing, I'll deal with that when I'm famous, it'll be solved. And like, I was kind of like, no, we need to look at this now. So sharing and it just kind of grew through word of mouth. And I've been really, really lucky. And I feel grateful that I've been able to meet so many awesome actors and hopefully, be a little bit of a guide or bright spot in their day, or whatever. It's been great. Yeah.
Awesome. So the first one went to 35 people. How many did the one today go to?
Like it's not even that many. If you tell it to most people, it's like 6,700.
That's a lot.
700 is
But
a lot.
it's not like 30,000 or anything.
Well,
I mean, you think about like your Instagram following, we expect like million people, but within our community, I think it's been, for certain people, it's been kind of very helpful, but it's still very niche.
No, but the thing is that you have to think it's 6,700 people who are getting helped. First of all, it was every single day, but now it's helped every single week to feel like they're plugged into an industry that we spent 20, 30, 5 years of our lives building that fell apart all at one time.
Yeah.
And these are people who are very invested in what you provide, right? You are providing such an incredible creative inspiration that I couldn't have put it better myself.
Thank you.
To so many people, and 6,700 people from 35 in what, 7 months? Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely growth for sure. And I'm so happy to like have been able to serve people in that way and help out. It's been just really cool to connect. And I try to share, my own experiences. Sometimes there's like a blog post at the bottom where I kind of share like what I'm going through that week. And I try to just be really honest and vulnerable with like, I'm really struggling right now with this thing, and that's okay to be struggling. We're all like dealing with stuff. So it's been nice. Yeah. It's an outlet for me.
I love that the basis of it is like, basic human kindness. Let me reach out to you. Let me provide information. Let me see what you need. And I just think that's very much in line with what we're trying to do too. Just trying to be like a positive light in people's days.
Yeah.
And so I just love that that's what you're doing, and that's really where it's all coming from, is this place of wanting to be kind and help people, which is awesome.
And it's helped me, and like it's given me purpose. Like I don't know what I would have been doing with my time had I not been creating the newsletter, and gave me something where I felt like I could give back, and gave me a sense of purpose. So that was really cool. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So one of the most exciting things, I think, for at least us, those of us out in the rest of the world, is that you were featured in the New York Times for your work on the newsletter. So what was it like being mentioned alongside Paula Vogel and Andrew Lloyd Webber in the same article in the New York
right
Times?
Underneath Andrew Lloyd Webber.
How do you have I cannot imagine Andrew Lloyd Webber and then my name and then the rest of the people that were listed there. What was that like that day?
I mean, my husband was like, "Aren't you excited?" And I was just like, it was actually, honestly, this is going to sound so bad. It was like kind of hard for me to accept because I just didn't feel like I deserved it. I felt like,
oh, but you did.
I felt like so many people had gone above and beyond for actors during this time. Like the reason why I had so much content to put in that newsletter 5 days a week was because there were so many people who were being so giving with their time. And my husband was like, "Come on, like, aren't you gonna like scream or shout or cry?" And I was like, "I can't process this. Like, go away." It's too much.
Come back to me later.
I had some wine eventually. And,
hey, there you go.
It's okay.
That's very
Nice.
yes.
Nice.
Cheers to the New York Times
Cheers.
for sure.
Yes,
I'll
to
take
all of your success. It's really
Thank
awesome
you.
to see. So I have to ask on behalf of myself and American Horror Story fans everywhere. Can you tell us about that experience? So you played one of the ghost nurses, correct?
Yeah. Ghost Nurse Miranda. So we're double cast actually. So there's like this scary nurse, which was me, and then there's the other scary nurse. Like they're terrifying. It was really fun. It's such a great set to be on. I will never forget. There was a scene that the special effects were just like bananas insane. There was like this chandelier, and we all had to just kind of like clear out. And they were like, "We're dropping it," and it's like they drop in this set, this like massive chandelier, and it like shatters everywhere. And I mean, it's just like that kind of stuff. You're like, "Oh yeah, this is why I do this. This is so fun."
Where else are you going to experience that?
Yeah.
At the Phantom of the Opera underneath Andrew Lloyd Webber. I think it was prophetic. I'm just saying, there's something all around you.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of American? Because your season was season 6, correct?
Yeah, Roanoke. I am not great with scary things, so
you were not a fan before.
I mean, not really. I watched once the oh, I watched one of the seasons and I loved it. Afterwards, I have the worst memory, you guys, like ever. The one with all the girls in Salem.
Yes.
The Salem Witch Trials one.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I
totally.
loved that season. That was so fun. But many of them are just too scary for me. I'm kind of a wuss, which, you know.
Which is kind of funny that you're.
I mean, I'm like stabbing people and killing them, and there's blood everywhere. I mean, Angela Bassett held my hand, you guys. Like, she directed an episode of it, and it was her first directing TV, I think, experience, and it was so cool, and she was so nice. And I mean, I still get starstruck and get excited by stuff like that. The first time I was ever on TV was well, not the first time, but the first real time was on Scandal, and I got to set, and I didn't really understand like how to read. You know, oh my gosh, see, I'm forgetting the name. What is it called?
The call sheet?
Call sheet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to read the call sheet at the time, and didn't really look at who was directing the episode, which is a pretty big deal, you know. And it was Chandra Wilson from Grey's Anatomy. And I knew my scene was with Scott Foley, but I'm standing next to these like two superstars who I've watched for years. And she's like, okay, let's just do like a brief rehearsal. And I forgot my lines. Like completely didn't remember anything. Scott Foley, like, he just like handed me the sides and he was like, here you go. And I was like, after that, I was the one take, and I was fine after that. I was great, good to go. But you know,
I can only imagine that initial moment. Yeah,
I was just like, Bailey from Grey's Anatomy. What? Anyway,
that's amazing.
Awesome,
I love that.
awesome.
Well,
we wish you nothing but continued success, and it's very exciting. When I tell you, when when Natalie told me you were coming on, and I started looking through your stuff, I was just thrilled to see the American Horror Story credit, and then I went back and looked at pictures, and I totally remember you from the show, and it's just really so. It's like I'm a little starstruck, you know.
I thank you. I'll take it. I'm like blushing.
And I can just say that from my perspective, not only have we been in communication through a mentor, but also watching the rise of the newsletter and seeing how it helped so many people and how it helped us through the Connected Performer, right? Like, we were able to touch so many people because of the work that you did. So we just want to say thank you for every hour you've spent, every like weird moment that you've had at midnight in your bedroom where you're like, can I add this thing in, right? That these people are sending last minute. We appreciate all the work that you've done to help so many actors along the way and so many performers, and to all the people who have then benefited from the work that they did to then be soothed by the work that went out on Netflix. And it's just the ripple effect of what you do. I don't know if you realize it, but I'm
like actually receiving this right now. Usually I'm not good at that, but I'd never thought about, people are now getting to book that first TV show that then somebody gets to enjoy on Netflix, which is like, that is a beautiful thing to think about.
Yeah,
so
it really is. And it's all because of what you saw that no one else saw. Right. So we appreciate everything you've done. So thank you for joining us.
You guys are so cool.
Yeah. So hopefully you'll be a friend of the show, and we'll have you back, and we'll see what you're up to.
Yes.
You can talk to us about, all the other things that are important to you, like adding value and,
I'm just going to interview you next time. It's all good.
Okay.
We'll be there anytime.
Deal. It's a deal.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been so fun.
We'll see you again soon.
Awesome.
Take care. Well, that was incredible.
She is just the nicest, and she's so humble, and she's helped so many people. And I love that she's like, yeah, it was the New York Times. Like, I didn't really feel it. So, okay. In comparison, Sean and I were, I wish I thought to pull up this photo. It never would have imagined that this would be a thing. But so we were featured in the Las Vegas, whatever their
was it Neon?
Is.
The
Neon is the middle section, but it's like the Las Vegas Examiner or something. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, the day that it came out, we were like running through the parking lot with like change to buy the newspaper.
All of them.
And, like,
give us all of them.
We did. We bought them all. So we love the fact that Jenna was so humble with what she's done. So thank you to her for being on. We appreciate you.
Very cool. Awesome. All righty. What's next? I gotta get my paper here. Sorry.
and Sean figures out what he's doing next, which is just
the end of the show.
The end of the show. That's all we have to do.
Yeah. So we really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us today. Whether you have joined us live or whether you are joining us from home, please do tell your friends about us. Invite them to come along with us on Monday nights at 7:00 as we try to accentuate the positive. A very big thank you again to our special guest this week, Jenna Doolittle. You can definitely find her all over the internet as well, and we'll post some of her stuff as well, so you can find her. Maybe the link to the newsletter and all of that.
Link to the newsletter.
So we're going to close though with one more song from Hooray for Love. And since this is the last week that the show is available online, we're going to end the show tonight with by rolling the credits from Hooray for Love at the end of the show as a special way to say thank you to our band of friends, Joshua Glenn Wilson, Dave Croft, and Mark Young, as well as Jeff Kilty and the entire crew there at the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center, who made the online offering of Hooray for Love this year possible.
So we hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week and that you come back to the Cordone and Kilgore Facebook and YouTube pages. So next Monday at 7, when we visit with my very good friend and our friend of the show, Mariette Booth, who's been here, who will be featured on Gossip Girl coming up this season, and dozens and dozens and dozens of commercials. She's always popping up on your TV, whether you realize it or not. So we will give a final goodbye into one of our favorite songs that's all about love and friendship for good. So we will see you next week right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you then.
Next song brings us to our love and a friendship. Of course, it could apply to romantic love too, but it's about a friend who you meet and know that they're special and will impact your life in a major way.
True. This is the kind of song you would dedicate to your forever friend, the kind of person who right away when you met them, you know they've immediately changed your life for the better just by being a part of it.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true. I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good.
It will maybe that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you.
Because I knew you. I have been
changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blamed me for.